Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Irena Anggreni, a wellness leadership coach and your partner in mental fitness. Now, welcome to this first live after a long hiatus where I will share and you will get to explore as well the powerful connection between mental fitness, success, and genuine happiness. So let me ask first, what comes to your mind when we talk about success? Perhaps it's about finally getting that promotion or hitting your annual target, like in a professional sense. But outside of work, success can also be about being more confident as a person or being a great parent to your children. So, whatever your personal definition is, achieving success is not at the cost of your happiness. Neither is success a prerequisite to your happiness. They are not either or, but both and. And it's possible to achieve both through three simple steps that you can train to strengthen your mental fitness in a scientific way. So before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're joining from today. Also, if you're watching through the replay, drop a comment with your location and let me know what's your thoughts, reflection, or observation on this topic. And if you are okay with sharing, you can DM me as well. How fulfilled do you feel in both your sense of success, accomplishment, and personal happiness? Now, let me ask you a question that might sound strange at first. Are you keeping your hand on the hot stove? Are you? Are you? Now, you're likely thinking, of course not. That would be painful and completely irrational. Yet, metaphorically, many of us do exactly this every day. We engage in thought patterns and behaviors that cause us pain, that sabotage our success and undermine our happiness. And we do it repeatedly. Perhaps even long after the fact, we may still be holding anger or guilt or resentment. Does that ring a bell? Give an emoji to let us know that we are not alone in this. Now, these self sabotaging patterns are what we call saboteurs. And catching them is the first step towards true mental fitness. So, today I'm going to show you a three-step approach to developing mental fitness that creates both that meaningful success and also genuine happiness. And this is all based on breakthrough research in positive intelligence, or called also PQ, that synthesized multiple disciplines in neuroscience, in positive psychology, and also in cognitive behavioral psychology and performance science. So just to give you the the text summary as well. So let's start with step one. Yeah, step one is really about, again, like what I already mentioned, catching your saboteurs. And it is about uncovering what's really sabotaging your success and happiness at the root level, not at the symptom surface level, but at the root level. So, deep inside, all of us, no exception, all of us have a primary saboteur called the judge. And this is the judge is this inner voice that constantly find faults in yourself, in others, and also in your circumstances. And it is this critical inner voice telling you you're never good enough, never smart enough, never deserving enough, and so on. And beyond the judge, we also each have our own unique mix of accomplished saboteur. And this includes, for instance, the controller, the avoider, the the stickler, the hyperachiever, and yes, now you see, and several others. Yeah. So, in my own journey, just to give you an example, I discovered that my hyperachiever saboteur was hijacking me big time. So, how it shows up is that I felt the pressure of always having to prove myself. And therefore, I was constantly chasing the next achievement, the next milestone. And even when I had a lot to be proud for, I wasn't truly happy. Every little setback made me feel like a failure. I was keeping my hand on that hot stove, burning myself with constant pressure while telling myself it was necessary for my success. The truth is, these saboteurs that you see on your screen, they developed as survival mechanism early in our lives. And they might have helped you, us, cope as a child, but as an adult leader, they're holding us back from both our authentic success and genuine happiness. So maybe even like just from the names or the illustration, these are like wonderful illustration from positive intelligence. You probably get a sense like, oh, that's me. That's my dominant saboteur. Perhaps like to jog your reflection. Are you a controller who needs everything done perfectly? Are you a hypervigilant, always preparing for disaster, or perhaps a pleaser who puts others' needs ahead of your own? So think about which patterns might be sabotaging you right now. And I will share also at the end like a quiz for self-assessment to figure out which one is your top saboteurs. So now for step two is about strengthening your sage power. Is to develop your sage perspective, which is your capacity to handle challenges with positive rather than negative mindset. So your sage represents your wisdom and has access to five great powers. Yeah, the five great powers of empathize, explore, innovate, navigate, and activate. Yeah, we all have these. Yeah, just sometimes we cannot access them. And these powers enable you to respond to any situation with clarity and with positive action, rather than with stress and negativity and anxiety. So here's the neuroscience behind this. When your saboteurs are active, you're operating from your survival brain, which is your limbic system and amygdala and so on. But when you activate your sage, you shift to your, let's call it PQ brain, which is primarily in your middle prefrontal cortex. And this is the brain, parts of the brain associated with empathy, with creativity, with focus, and with relaxation. And the difference is dramatic. So, from your sales perspective, any challenges become opportunities, and failures become learning experience, and conflicts become the chances to create deeper understanding in the relationships. So let's try a quick exercise to activate your sage. You can place one hand on your heart or on your tummy. Yeah, just see what's feels more comfortable for you at the moment. And just focus on your breathing for the coming three breaths, three in and out breaths. And feel your breath moving in and out. Then you can, with the same hand, just touch the other hand, the other palm, fingertips of the other hand, and notice the sensation. or maybe the temperature difference. And then you can let go, release the hands. Now, this simple practice actually begins to shift your brain activity from any saboteur, if there was any, to sage mode. You probably notice that, oh, usually I'm always thinking about all these, these thought patterns here and there, that they get quieter. Yeah. So that's a sign that your saboteur is getting weaker through this exercise. So this is what we call PQ reps. Yeah, PQ from positive intelligence, and reps, just like when you do fitness, how many reps. uh, and if you were to take a functional MRI scan, you could see actually that the parts of the survival brain that I mentioned earlier, they quiet down, while the PQ brain associated with empathy, curiosity, focus, clarity, they light up ever so slightly. Yeah. So that brings us to step three, actually. Yeah, which is really about building consistent mental fitness habits to strengthen your sage muscles while weakening your saboteurs. And they go parallel. So as your sage grows stronger, your saboteurs also grow weaker. Yeah. And basically, what does it mean? Like building a strengthening sage muscle. Basically, it's about using your sage powers. Those five things, yeah: empathize, explore, innovate, navigate, and activate in your day-to-day life. So just like physical fitness, mental fitness also requires regular exercise. And the good news is that this exercise just takes seconds to do, and you can integrate them into your existing daily routine. Yeah, the foundation is the PQ reps, the brief mindfulness exercise that shift you from saboteur to sage mode. The exercise that we did is one example. And the key is to do these reps consistently throughout your day, at least 15 minutes per day. And I guarantee you, everybody has that 15 minutes, even if you feel like you're already too busy. Yeah. Because here's the thing, you don't need to do anything different or extra in your day. As you get the hang of the exercise, this PQ rep, you can use any of your normal daily activities as practice. And the results can make a big difference. So imagine these two different scenarios. Yeah. So one one young leader I worked with was constantly stressed due to pressure at work and a demanding boss and so on. And he was concerned that he spilled over the frustration and anger at home to his loved ones. So one day he was already running late to work, caught in traffic, frustration of course building up, and then he arrived at work, and just a brief interaction with his boss got him even more upset. And he was criticized about how he handled an important client. Later that day, he had a meeting with that said client, and all that is built up on that day. Because of that, he was combative, and of course, the client was not happy. It was not a good meeting. And then he went home exhausted and feeling like a failure. He took it out on his spouse. Yeah, and everyone was just upset and angry at each other. So after a few weeks of this three-step mental fitness, he started noticing positive changes. So on his driving commute, he's doing PQ reps on the scenery. And when he get caught in a traffic jam, it happens every now and then. Instead of getting upset, he practiced observing his breathing. So he arrived calm and grounded at work, and he could empathize with his boss, actually, because he's seeing with more clarity, could empathize with his boss who had been under a lot of fire for the survival of the startup. So he's more able to be more kind and patient and to actually see some valid points of his boss critic. During a meeting with the client, he does again pick your up on the client's voice and also kind of body language, how they talk, and he can fully listen without his judgment and inner chatter distracting him. So being able to do this, he discovered actually great ideas to improve their product. So he came home feeling content and confident. And when before he was too tired to play with his young child, now he sees this also as a practice for being fully present, observing his child and kind of being aware that, oh yeah, this is a special moment that will, yeah, it will pass by so fast. And he transformed his leadership approach. Not only did his and his team's performance improve, he also reported feeling more happy and feeling fulfilled for the first time in his career. So he finally took his hand off that hot stove. Okay, so practical application. I want to give you, this is how you practically apply these three steps. And you can do that right away. Yeah. So start noticing when you're keeping your hand on the hot stove. Yeah, when your saboteurs are active and causing you distress. And if you want, you can even pause this video and take notes. Yeah, where is those spaces in my life where I keep my hand on the hot stove? And then second, start practicing these PQ reps. Yeah, even if it's just 10 seconds long, it's around the length of 3 breaths. Basically, what what you do is that you're shifting your attention to a physical sensation, whether it be your breath, kind of like you can touch your chest or your belly if it helps to connect with your breath, or like if you feel like okay, rubbing your fingertips, or you just feel the sensation, or feeling your feet on the ground, or also if you want to engage your visual, really observing what's in front of you visually, or listening with curiosity. Oh, what do I hear? Yeah, and this is really great if you're out in the nature and not really listen to the birds. It's springtime. As short as 10 seconds. And when you're more established, kind of like, yeah, this can be really a habit. And then step 3, ask yourself, like, how would my sage, my sage self handle the situation? And go do it, kind of like you ask your kind of wise sage self, like, how do I handle the situation? And don't forget to also take action, because this is the thing that activates your mental muscles, your positive mental muscles. Yeah, kind of if just thinking about it is not it, you actually need to go do it, take action. So remember that the pathway to both meaningful success and genuine happiness, it lies in developing your mental fitness, actually. When you strengthen your sage and weaken your saboteur, you create sustainable success that actually feels good. That you don't feel like I'm sacrificing everything just to get that success. Okay? So as we conclude this first live session, I want to invite you to consider which hot stoves are you keeping your hand right now? Yeah, which saboteurs preventing you from experiencing both success and happiness? So I want to share a resource with you. So we have this free Yeah, we have this free saboteur assessment that will help you identify your dominant saboteurs and help you to understand exactly how they are sabotaging both your success and happiness. And plus, the first five people who comment, like, take my hand off the stove, will also receive a complimentary 45-minute strategy session with me to interpret your results and create a personalized mental fitness plan. And if you are feeling ready to transform your leadership and life through mental fitness, I'm launching a 6 weeks mental fitness for meaningful success program next month. So in these 6 weeks, you'll develop the mental muscles. Oh my gosh, what's happening with my? Ugh. You'll develop the mental muscles that lead to both greater achievement and authentic happiness. So everything is in there, yeah. So to learn more, you can scan the QR code or go to the link that I will put in the comment after this. And join me next time for the second session in this series. It will be again about mental fitness, maybe some other angle, some other application. But I'm thinking actually about doing a deep dive into the judge saboteur, yeah, because it is something that everyone relates with. And thank you for being with me here today. And remember, success without happiness is just another form of keeping your hand on the hot stove. Yeah, so take your hand off it. I wish you a wonderful day further and see you next time.